there is a 5-minute challenge. I'll accept that one. Now I'm playing with black pieces again. Let's see. So, English opening. Very solid choice. Which is sometimes considered the Sicilian reversed. And as you can see, we're just playing the dragon reversed here. Obviously, just imagine that white is black and black is white. You'll understand what I mean. So that is one of the pawn structures in Rossalimo system. The difference is that my knight is a bit more flexible than in Rossalimo. Because in Rossalimo it is on f6. Sorry, on f3 obviously, because Rossalimo is for whites against Sicilian. Here it is on e7, so that nothing is stopping me from playing f5 pretty soon. Alright. d3. Supporting c4. Now queen to c8. Intending bishop to h3. The idea is just to exchange that Fankethood bishop, which is the main defender of the king, and at the same time the main attacking piece in the English opening, exerting long-term pressure on this diagonal. Knight at g5. Okay, so we have to step back, I believe, for one move. Then play something like h6, and then come back to that idea with bishop to h3. That's the plan at least. Maybe I should have developed my bishop on d7. That is what I usually do. I'm not sure why I decided to play it differently this time. Probably for the sake of experimenting, because Blitz is exactly for it. For playing something that is not typical for you. So that you can, you know, try different things without risks that are, you know, typical for tournament games where you don't literally want to lose, right? Here, the price of losing is not that high. That's what I mean. All right, let's get there. That was the plan. That was the idea behind it. Let's exchange that damn bishop. Oh, let's take this way. Okay, so position has changed. Now white no longer has pair of bishops. White no longer has that amazing English bishop. Double pawns are still there, but now we can see that our pawn structure is a bit weakened. Alright, so the e5 especially. Okay, I think we have to support it because d5 was a threat, followed by knight takes c5. So I'm just supporting the pawn on e5, and if d5 happens, well, at least I don't lose a pawn, right? Still a bit annoying. But not lost. That's important. So e5 is protected, as you may notice. But white is doing all right here. I'm not sure that e4 is the best option. I would have played probably something like c5, but e4 is also pretty decent. So c5 is still possible, and I think that I have to prevent it somehow. Maybe even playing c5 myself, right? So if white plays d6, I just play knight to c6. I'm fine there because d7 I just take. No problems. And I can later blockade that pawn. After d takes c6, well, I'm getting very good pawn structure. I think d takes c6 was a mistake. Because now look, there is no pawn center anymore that white had just one move ago, but a bunch of, you know, very vulnerable pawns, and I can attack all of them and potentially can grab all of them, I believe. Let's just castle now, without much calculation. Probably queen e4 was strictly the best option. I just don't want to be in a rush here. I'm fine, right? But now I start regretting my idea of, you know, not taking that pawn immediately. But okay, let's do it right now. maybe I'm just even losing something, but the idea behind it is that after h5, if my knight goes away, obviously the knight on e7 will be captured, but I wanted to play this move now. With the threat of winning the queen. Oh, my opponent is just blundering it. Alright, my friend. Then I'm getting the queen. Here. Well, I was pretty lucky in this game, right? I was pretty lucky. But I'm not sure that white had a better option anyway. We'll have a look on the analysis board very soon, I think. Because we're gonna win this seamlessly. Our advantage, material advantage, is just too big for white to survive it. The only thing here is just a stalemate, but I don't think it's possible because there are so many pawns there that still can move. So even if white sacrifices everything here and the king cannot move, well, there are still those pawns. Check. Knight h2 is the only move. Now let's bring the rook over. Yeah, and that's it. Analysis board. Let's have a look. Well, the first thing that happened that forced me, you know, to get a bit nervous was here. So knight e7 and e4, I'm not sure that that was the best move. I think c5 is a bit more ambitious and interesting to play because you have immediate d6 idea. And it just prevent me from blockading your pawn fist in the center. That's good. That's a good sign because you want to push all those pawns now. And e4, well, you have time for it. If I play e4 myself, I don't think I will have sufficient resources protecting that pawn. Right, so you can always relocate your knight that way where it will be placed just normally, controlling central stuff, right? And yeah, I guess c5 was interesting because after e4, okay, and c5 position is getting you know, a bit more closed, which is good for the side which has knights. But not very good news for that bishop, unless you take, which you did, but I don't believe it was a good idea. So you have a protected passer after all, and probably it's an asset, probably not. I'm not sure. It's not very dangerous pawn, I would say, because I have pretty simple plan of blockading it. But the question is if I have time to do that. So for example, what happens if you just continue with the same thing that you tried in the game later? Here it makes a lot of sense. You want to play h5, just squeeze me, right? My knight on e7 is pretty passive right now, so the only thing I can do to improve it is to bring it to d6, but it takes time. It takes at least 3 moves, right? And h5 is already a reality, so it's coming. The only drawback behind it is potentially this queen to g4 move, preventing h5 and also intending to do something like knight f4 and attacking e4 at the same time. So I'm not sure. Maybe h4 is too optimistic here. But I would have definitely capped the pawn on d5, not taken it. Because after the thing that you did, as I said before, now you no longer have this impressive center. You no longer have a passer on d5. What you do have, though, is a collection of weaknesses. So all these pawns were quite weak a move ago as well, right? The difference is that I didn't have so simple access to them. Once you have captured on c6, well, it's no longer a problem for me to attack all of them. That's a huge difference. And now I believe the black is just better, okay? Maybe there are some tactical tricks, obviously, like this, but I guess it's not changing the valuation of the position. Maybe here you could have played a better move. Obviously you could. I think everything that could have saved the queen on the board would have been a better choice. But still, I mean, look at those weaknesses. Those are terrible. So let's have a look at rook e1 though. The tactical possibility. That was probably the best move in this particular case. But I don't know what's happening here after queen g4, let's say. So you capture my minor piece, I take there. You play, say, king to... If you play king to f1, I may even consider something like f takes g6, bishop takes f8, rook takes f8. I'm a rook down, but there is some sort of attack that's happening, and this may be very dangerous. But again, it's an extreme line. Of course, maybe I don't have to play something like that. So something like knight e3 comes to mind, in which case if you take on f8, I just take back with the knight and I have an extra pawn, right? But you can take this way and it's far less clear compared to what happened in the game. Yeah, probably rook to e1 was very interesting, and maybe the whole idea was not that great. Maybe I should have captured on e4 even immediately. I don't know why I didn't do that, actually. So, queen takes e4 was okay. Knight on f3 is pinned, and yeah, black is having extra material, and there is no risk compared to what happened in the game. I don't know. But the point is, I think, anyway, is in this decision that you made, so d takes c6 was not correct. Okay. So,